Already some breaking news now. More than 24 hours after a deadly double shooting in Waterbury, police have one man in custody, and they are still searching for several items believed to be connected to the case. We're going to go straight to a news conference right now.
On the evening of October 6th, around 11 p.m., responding officers found two parties inside that house, both suffering from gunshot wounds. Both those parties were later pronounced dead on scene. An investigation ensued at that point. Detectives, investigators worked throughout the evening and were able to develop some information and develop a suspect. That suspect is Javion Adams, age 25. We were notified by the Watertown Police Department in the early morning hours of October 7th that Adams was a suspect in a larceny and a burglary that occurred in Watertown, and that he was in their custody. Our investigators worked with the Watertown Police Department throughout the day, continuing to gather evidence and information about the homicide that occurred here in Waterbury. And throughout the course of those investigative means, we were able to apply for and were granted an arrest warrant for Javion Adams, charging him with murder with special circumstances, murder during the commission of a felony, criminal use of a weapon, carrying a pistol without a permit, reckless endangerment in the first degree, larceny first of a motor vehicle, and criminal possession of a firearm and ammunition. He's currently being held at Waterbury Superior Court on a $5 million bond, and he will be arraigned later on this morning. This is a very tragic incident, and it revolves around domestic violence. We are going to identify the victims of this homicide. They were Javion's parents, his mother, Carlene Williams, date of birth 10/11/1973. She was a resident at 176 Beverly. And Javion's father, Mark Adams, date of birth March 11th, 1970, was the other victim of this crime. Our investigators continue to work in the greater Waterbury area this morning, gathering information and collecting evidence that is pertinent to this case. And we will continue to follow through with the state's attorney during the adjudication process. I had an opportunity to speak to some of our partners in the community that work with domestic violence victims. We will be meeting with Safe Haven at a date in the very near future to discuss some of proactive ways that we can continue to address domestic violence here in the city and in the greater Waterbury area. That's all I have to report this morning. Are there any questions?
A few clarifying things. One, can you first spell the names of the two victims?
Sure. Carlene Williams, C-A-R-L-E-N-E, Williams, W-I-L-L-I-A-M-S.
And age for Carlene?
She was born in 1973, October of 1973. And then the father is Mark, M-A-R-C, Adams, A-D-A-M-S, born in March of 1970.
Had there been any prior domestic violence incidents in the house and between the family?
So I talk a lot about this. One of the things that we really focus on here in Waterbury are case studies when violent crimes occur, because we do identify that there is a pattern, and we try to use some of this information to address these issues proactively. In this particular case, Javion Adams had a significant history of domestic violence. He was on probation for prior arrests for domestic violence. And as you can see by the case study sheet, he identified with a number of the different categories that make people that we deal with in these violent crimes more susceptible to either engaging in as a perpetrator or becoming a victim of violent crime.
And was that violent crime within his family towards his parents, or was it to other individuals?
In both circumstances, right, with his family as well as with other individuals outside the immediate family that he had relationships with.
Chief, we've heard that there were other people inside the home when these shootings occurred. Is there any information about that you can share?
Not at this time. It's a larger family. We're continuing to work on components of the investigation, but at this time I don't have any more information to release about that.
I noticed the $5 million bond. I mean, that's a pretty significant number. How does that sort of contextually stack up with cases that you've handled and you've seen in severity in this city in your career to justify a bond number that high?
We were talking about it this morning. This is probably the highest bond that we've seen in the recent past. But I think that the Superior Court and the judges that sit here in Waterbury take violent crime seriously. They take flight risk very seriously. I think it was important, and the judge saw the means and the necessity to post a bond of significance to make sure that his court appearance was guaranteed.
Does he have other siblings that are left behind from the parents?
He does. There are other siblings in the family, yes.
And I mean, this is an incredible job between Watertown and Waterbury Police communicating and getting a suspect in custody. What was like the clue? What was the evidence that connected the two crimes?
Well, we have a pretty robust communication system here throughout the state of Connecticut. We pride ourselves on getting information out to law enforcement and really to the media and the public as quickly as possible when it's unclassified. So it was that situation that really assisted us in this particular case. We had the information out of what we were looking for and what the circumstances were here in Waterbury rapidly to the regional law enforcement team.
Has the car been found as of this morning?
The car has been found. The car was located in a park in Middlebury, about as a crow flies 3 miles away from where the location of the burglary larceny occurred in Watertown. So we're currently processing that scene, and we'll be processing the car forensically shortly.
We understand there were several items that Watertown Police had said that they were also looking for. Can you comment on if any of those items have been found, if police are still actively looking for things?
We are actively conducting this investigation and still looking for information and evidence that pertains to this particular investigation.
I know you guys in Watertown have been particularly interested in surveillance video. Anything you'd like to mention to the public of people who were, in any of these areas involved in this investigation, maybe come forward with any potential video?
Absolutely. Anybody that would have any information that would pertain to this particular case, where they think they may have seen this person sometime between October 6th or October 7th, we would ask that they contact their local police department and provide that information. We'll certainly send people out to talk to them.
Was the gun recovered?
Not at this time.
What was the felony for the murder, commission of a felony? What was the felony in that?
I'll have to answer that for you
And
afterwards.
is the murder a special circumstance? That's because it's
Two or more people.
Can you confirm that?
All right, that was a quick dip into this news conference regarding that breaking news we've been following. Waterbury police have named 25-year-old Javion Adams as the suspect in this double homicide, and they announced the victims were his parents, Carlene Williams and Mark Adams, who were both in their 50s.
And we also have learned that Javion, he was on probation. He was saying there how he had a massive history of domestic incidents in the past, and his bond has been set at $5 million.
Yes, and he is expected to be arraigned later on this morning. Waterbury police also announced they worked with Watertown police on this case, and Watertown police had Adams in custody in relation to a larceny and burglary in that area of town.
Yeah, they are also asking if anyone knows anything between October 6th to right now, please come forward and they will take any information that you have.
Yes, we'll continue to track this story for you. We'll have the latest developments for you on our social platforms once we wrap up on air. Stay up to date on fox61.com as well as Fox 61 Plus. Already 10:40 now. Plans are in place